Welcome to the Charter Quest CFO competition of 2018. I'm your host, Johnny Iliadis, and it's my honor to be the MC and the host of the show throughout this competition. Before we get started, I would like to introduce you how this competition works. This competition has two categories. It has the global competition that universities from all over the world enter this competition. And then we have the CFO Junior competition, which is all the schools on the African continent who enter this competition. This is a great competition, and I'm proud to be involved with this competition since the inception of 2016. In this show, we are going to announce the top 20 teams for both categories, that being the global and the junior competition. So today I have a great panel that's going to help me introduce the top 20 in this competition. So first on my panel, I have Pat Semenya, who's the CFO of ACCA South Africa, Association Chartered Certified Accountants, one of the leading professional accountants in the world. I am very close to Pat because we have worked together for some time, as when I was a chairman on ACCA panel, and I must say this woman has great leadership qualities and has led ACCA South Africa to great standards and great heights, and she keeps improving all the time. The next person on our panel is someone that I've got to know very well over the years, and I truly regard him as a friend, and I respect him so much on how he handles pressure. And another way is because he's a judge in this competition and he doesn't hold back. He doesn't hold back. And that is Dion Fredericks, the CFO of Telkom Group. This is our panel to announce the top 20 in this competition. So what we're going to do now is, there are so many teams who have entered this competition all over the world, right? And our panel is going to announce the top 20. But before I go into the top 20, I really would like to know their opinion of this competition. I have such a high regard for this competition. I think it's the greatest competition, and it does so much for Africa and for the rest of the world. So I'd first like to start with Pat and ask her, what's her thoughts on this competition, and why are you involved in this competition? And why is ACCA involved?
Thanks, Johnny, for that. To be honest with you, I think this case study competition answers a big question that we always had in terms of the skills and knowledge that the universities are equipping our graduates with. There's always been a big question mark around, are the universities equipping our graduates with the right skills and knowledge that are not only necessary but are of value to our institute. And I mean, these are the type of skills and knowledge that you don't necessarily need to kind of like harness when you're already a graduate. You need to start from the very bottom, and this now from the foundations level. And then the study has shown us that case study, and specifically case study competitions, constitute the right caliber of mix in terms of being able to bring out those studies, because typically if you go through a case study competition like this, you go through a process where you get mentored, you get coached, you get continuous and constant feedback on your writing skills, on your presentation skills, on your speaking skills, your analytical skills, and so forth. And what that does is that it just makes you so adept in terms of being able to combine your practicals and theory. And I think when you look at the South African education system, this is something that I think we still need to nip in the bud to make sure that we actually bring it out. And I think this competition actually talks to that. And I mean, when I compare this to how I went to high school, it's a very totally dynamic way of learning. You know, we never used to learn like this in my time. And I think this gives a great opportunity in terms of ensuring that you talk to real life experiences that actually talks to making sure that you actually bring value when you're out there in the workplace. And then, for example, what makes it so special about this one specifically, and that's why ACCA decided to be part of it, is because it draws around students from across the globe. And I think given that we are trying, in fact, the majority of the youngsters that are out there, our young minds, are actually looking at being global citizens. And global citizens are people that should be able to relate across cultures and so forth and so forth. So part of like an inherent benefit of being part of this case study is to just learn to respect difference and diversity. And I think we're quite fortunate to be part of this initiative.
Wow, thank you, Pat. That is, I think I've got a soft heart for ACCA because I am a member of ACCA, but they are leaders in innovation, and I think Pat is showing that she's getting involved in a new competition, something that's going to embrace the youth. So thank you, Pat. Thank you, ACCA, for getting involved. So Dion, Telkom involved, yeah, and I know you've over the last 3 years, and I'd love to hear your opinion for this year and why you keep coming back. There must be something in your heart for this competition.
Yes, Johnny, I think it's a great competition. I think firstly it's unique. It creates an opportunity for youngsters to actually develop. And I believe in business, but not in business, even while you study, the key thing is confidence. This gives you, in a reasonable, safe environment, the opportunity to build that confidence. The second one for me is teamwork. We're all individuals. The biggest challenge in corporate is usually people to work as a team, and it's not so easy. You start at a young age, you can develop the skills, the understanding, and that will definitely prepare you. One of the big challenges we find in the corporate environment is that graduates struggle to fit into the corporate environment, and it's because they don't have experience. This competition at least gives them a foot into that they can understand how businesses work, what's the challenges, and it also places them in a difficult situation that they have to quickly on their feet do various things, bring various methodologies together and try and illustrate to a panel of judges that they understand the situation and that they have a resolution or a solution for that. So I think if one look at that, that is great experience to gain. And I believe we should get more involved. You asked the question in involvement. I think we as senior people don't get involved sufficiently. And that's why I'm trying to give as much as possible within the time. And I would really challenge everybody to get involved.
Thank you very much, Dion. That's why I really respect the people who do get involved in this competition, because not only are they taking their time to come to this competition, but their positions are at such a level that they are so busy, and the companies are also getting involved. So I just would like to congratulate and thank the people that are involved in this competition, because without them it just doesn't work. Now, how do I know for a fact that this competition has worked? My heart, I tell you, has been, as soon as the organizations of these people tell me that we're recording for this competition or we're starting this competition, I get so excited because I know we're going to change lives in this competition. And this competition is just growing every year. You know, in 2016, we started this competition and it was only universities from all over the world. 2017, we had the universities, we had the global competition, and then we started the junior competition, which was schools all around South Africa. And this year, we have not only the global competition with universities all over the world, we also have now schools not only in South Africa, but on the continent of Africa. So this competition, to me, is changing lives because we are getting our students ready for the real world. One of the greatest things I like about this competition, when will the student ever be able to sit across a table with a CEO of an ACCA, a CFO of a Telkom, such a great organizations, when they can ask opinion, when they can get advice, when they can get coaching? How will that impact their lives going forward? So I think this competition has great value to every single person who's involved.